Hi, good evening. Tonight is my 8th broadcast, and I still can't believe that I'm doing this. Um, it is February 20th, 2022, which I still can't believe that's the date as well. Um, I'm not too sure who else is going to pop on tonight. If we have somebody, that's great. If not, that's great too. And that seems to be the theme of this week was just allow all of it. I had quite an interesting week. Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. Um, of feeling things from my past that would pop up from things that would happen, just like random things. One time I was 18. You think you know everything. You're in college, and you think you know everything, and you're so in love with a boy, and your father tries to tell you not to go out with that person. And me, in my infinite wisdom at 18, thought otherwise. And I remember standing in front of him and we're getting into a confrontation and just going back and forth and how he doesn't understand and how I love him and um, so on and so forth. And I remember either saying, "Who the hell are you to tell me what to do? I'm an adult now." And I remember my dad seeing red and whacking my whoopsh right across the face. And I remember just standing there, totally dumbfounded. Can't believe that that just happened. And that came up the other day. And it was funny because I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling these major ascension symptoms and feeling that hot and cold. My stomach was just going all day and just not feeling good, nausea. And it had me just plant my ass on my bed, and then boom, this memory popped up. I said, okay, you got my attention, because, well, I don't feel like going anywhere. So I worked on it, and I brought my dad in, and we chatted about it, and how I said, how I did. I was under the illusion that I did know everything back then. But also, it taught me a lot how my dad was very authoritative and very my way or the highway to I know everything and you know I'll yell and scream and do what I need to do to make my way. And then I said, okay, how can I apply this to my reality right now with my boys and how to allow them the freedom to have their own experience, but also be a guide as well, and where that happy balance falls. So that's what that all brought to the table for me was to feel that instance where my dad was like that, and it took me back to when I was a kid, running through the house covering my ass, because we were in trouble or something, and we were gonna go SWAT. To in the back seat, my sister and I would be yelling and screaming at each other over who would play what song they wanted to on our little tape recorder. And I remember the hand coming back and whack, 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 whack. To remembering when I was a young parent and my boys both experimented with light sockets. And that was a time where I took my hand and swatted him on the ass to move him away from the electric outlet, both of them. And I remember calling my mom and crying, and just crying and crying and crying because I moved the boys with my hands, which I smacked them on the rear end at the same time, whoosh, and moved them. And I remember just crying my eyes out and just feeling all the feelings I felt when that would happen to me, and how I couldn't believe that I did that with my kids, to even yelling and screaming. My dad was notorious for that. Um, and doing that with my boys, and it just brought everything up for reevaluation, for me to look at it in a different way, for me to see where learned behaviors were. There was, where they were playing in the background, especially when I was a young parent. Um, it was just very real, and so being not feeling well, and having that nauseousness just had me lay down and face it and look at it and say, okay, thank you for showing me what I need to clear within my body, within myself. Because nausea, of course, your stomach, that's where a lot of those parental issues sit. Um, a lot of the old ideals, the old ways of being are just sitting there, and it was trying to work its way out. And I know that was major for me this week, and it was just something that I haven't thought about. Geez, since I was 18. And the amazing things this week of uh, feeling just nothingness. And like when I would try to do my spiritual work and ground down, and I don't. It's like everything has changed. Everything has changed. Where the old ways of doing things don't work anymore. Um,
Yeah, you couldn't find it, right?
yeah, it was gone, and so
Yeah.
everything has shifted so dramatically, and this is within the last couple weeks that um, nothing of the old is there anymore. And you go searching for it. I went and searched for Gaia's heart, and I'm like, this is telling me, okay, you remember, you learned that that was what you needed to do. And then once I remembered, ooh, you're learning on the go now. You are teaching you what feels good for you, not what you were taught, but what feels good for you. So I just breathed in me, and that's all I needed. And I still felt like the cosmic heart, and which was me, too. And so everything has shifted and everything has changed. I'm still going
Yeah,
through
I've
the.
had that. Oh, sorry. I've had that happen before too, but then after a few days and you adjust a little bit, it'll come back. Like if you go search for it again, but it was just it's trying to teach you that you don't necessarily need to do it that way.
And that's the thing. From for the last couple weeks, I have just done just within me, and
No, I can hear you fine.
okay, this is inner reconnection system. So I love but like even still, like today, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna feel rooting around, and so my personal way of doing things has totally shifted and changed, and not to go back to where that was at all. So all I did today was I had I wanted to go to the woods and get some more pine needles for my pine needle tea, and the trees were reaching out for me, so I just touched the trees, and within that instant, I felt the connection of everything that is, and also just of the beingness of being here. And it was just everything's changing, everything is shifting, everything that was old has to go. Everything,
It,
and
that
and
might
that's
explain yesterday and today, this morning especially, and yesterday I was very annoyed with myself and others to the point where I was even getting angry and I was getting a little depressed this morning. I'm like, what is this? Where is this coming from?
mhm, everything has. to go. And it was like another part of us who we thought we were. Everything has to go. And it's like all these, they call it, the ego death, the mini deaths, the dark night of the soul. It's just, it's constant. And being okay with when you come out is just like you've shed another layer of skin, and you're just
Mm.
keep going, and you're not supposed to be knowing where you're going, and that's okay too. Nothing feels the same. Everything is just here. Put this blindfold on and just trust your gut to guide you through. I'm like, okay, and you
Yes.
just there's nothing, and then 1 minute your body's telling you I need to do this, and then the next minute it's like, nope, we're gonna stop doing this and do this now. And okay, and it's listening to the tuning fork that you're becoming, even more so than before. Um,
Oh, food is an extreme one for with
yes,
me. I'm eating so much like guacamole, or it's like green stuff. Like I had
yeah,
to get salad tonight when I came home from work and make it, and it's like, yes, I ate it before, but now I'm like, I have to have, that's what I'm eating, like
yeah,
green.
yeah. And I've had my green shakes every day, and you could definitely like I don't, and my eating habits where I just eat once a day. I just eat once a day, and I'm okay. And then the other day, it was just like, no, you might need a little bit more. And it just at that moment, like I'm not eating till I go all night, and not eating until like 11 o'clock, 12, 1, 2. Oh, I should probably have a shake now. And it's like I've been sitting in the sun a lot lately too, and that's what's been guiding me to do more than anything. And just sitting, getting as much sun as I can. It's like I'm a plant, a house plant, and just give me water and the sun, and I'm good. And I am. And I try to, like today, we went for a drive into Erie today to go see our family, and just being out in that sun, it just like it helped everything. It was like, okay, you may not know what's coming, you may not know what's going, you just here, you're just here, and just enjoy where you are now, and whatever comes up, to just be in the sun, just be in the sun, and
That
feel the
sounds so
warmth.
good.
And to it was a bit like we have not had a lot of sun here for a long time, and today it was just full on blasting, and it was amazing. um,
I work too much. I need to get out in nature. I think that's why I'm so annoyed lately.
it could be because you're seeing where things aren't in alignment, and where you gotta find ways. Yeah, I may not be in alignment with where I am at necessarily, but how can I make this the best experience? And like you being placed there, being who you are to the people around you, you just we emanate that energy, and just be that love, and not judge. Like all that stuff came up where before I would have judged myself, back in the day, especially. And I was just seeing it like it was playing on a movie projector, like always, and I was just watching. And like I would be on my Telegram or something like that, and I'd be just watching what's going on up there in Canada, and just watching, like I'm watching a movie, and it was like no feeling, was just like, oh, okay, that's what's going on, and how to allow myself to be observer in my own life, but yet again allowing the feeling to come up. Because on our way home, we were feeling pretty good. I just left the woods. I got my pine needles, which I asked the trees, please just allow me to receive your pine needles, and there are tons of them all over the snow. And so I was able to just pick them up. And we're coming back, and then we saw a dog got hit by a car. Um, and I slammed on the brakes. That was like, and allow myself to be in that moment too, and make sure everybody was okay. And then we watched what really happened was that the dog was hit, and to see that little dog just broke my heart. And uh, I'm still feeling it. My heart is just so heavy because I know what's going on, and it's weighing so heavy on me. I'm like, okay, you're supposed to feel this. You're supposed to feel this. You're supposed to feel this. So feel it. And how precious life is, but how we all know really, you know, the whole reason why we're here is to love. And this dog was placed in this world for somebody to love and to feel what the dog was feeling. Oh, that was rough. And to feel what the person was feeling, to feel what all of us were feeling, because I know my kids felt it too. Um, but allowing those moments, not to totally wipe you out, but to allow it. And I just sat in the parking lot and cried. And I'm still feeling it, and it's okay. And just that dog meant so much to somebody, and that somebody was so much to that dog. It just brought me to that boom. Like, wow, how every moment is so precious. And whether it be a happy moment or even like this moment right now of feeling it, everything is precious. Everything is so amazing that we can feel like this. Because we're basically the only galactic humans that can actually feel like we do. And to allow that feeling just to be there and to deeply feel it. And how blessed we are to actually feel it um, is is a miracle. Because there's so many people, not only people, but beings that can't feel this. And how us being the empaths, the super feelers, how we have this amazing gift to feel it all. Where most people here have shut down their emotions, so they won't feel and they won't get upset, and it's too scary to feel. And how blessed I was to be able to feel it all. So there's been so much that I've been just feeling, and in that moment. And today, I've always said, well, yeah, I am blessed because I can feel. I've been around so many people that push away their feelings, who just shut down or act the total opposite so they won't have to feel, any way not to feel. And how I've always allowed to feel it all, and how precious that is, because that's that's why we're here, is not only to feel the love, but feel everything else that goes with it, and to love ourselves through that, and to hold space like a mom would hold space for their child when they're feeling this wave of sadness or this wave of of anger, even just to hold space and not say, oh, it's okay, don't cry, or oh, just suck it up. But no, to allow all that to flow through.
Yeah, that did help. I did that last night. I'm like, okay, I'm annoyed with myself. I'm annoying others, but that's okay. And I just sat there and I was like, well, I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to relive conversations and so forth. It's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Just it's all right. You're all right feeling what you do. You're all right for experiencing what you're experiencing, and you know, just allowing it all.
Mhm.
And
And then it flowed through easier. I didn't get stuck in that emotion because I allowed it.
right, 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 and that's when we we just allow, and it does it. It makes it flow through us easier when we allow. Um, yeah, and then sometimes we will purposely ground our like push ourselves to the limit where, all right, you were running around like a crazy person, and this is going to be coming up, and boom, you need to look at this right now, and um, right now, and okay, and because we did give ourselves that permission back then when it did happen, even in the past lives, same life, same. It's all one big, huge conglomerate of all of our lives together, and when it all comes up, to feel it all. Um, I had a friend that was feeling, and he actually heard um, him being injured by being shot or a bow and arrow or something like that. Just heard it actually. And, it was kind of scared the shit out of me because I've never heard it before. It's so real that it was right next in my ear, and then it was in my ear again. And I said, "This because you're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to really feel into it this time." And a lot of us in our other lifetimes and dimensions, we're not allowing ourselves to do that. And it's actually asking us to actually do that where we feel it for all of us in this, all the lives that we're experiencing right now, to bring it all back into this one awareness of all of us on these timelines and dimensions, or
Mm-hmm.
wherever, for Venus or whatever the case may be, to have a oneness of awareness of everything, not
Yeah,
just
I've
this
done
lifetime.
the past lives, and I found another one recently too, where I was hung twice and stabbed in the throat once. So I've got so many throat issues, and I think I might have finally dealt with the last one. We can hope. Crush fingers.
Yeah, right. Well, we
So many in
always,
my throat area that I'm like, okay, now my throat's been fine again. Like it goes out, like actually, like pops in and out, and all sorts of crazy stuff.
oh yeah, oh yeah. We've all
But
had very similar lives like that. Yep.
so yeah, I found another one where I was hung in. Well, and then if you can't deal with it in that past life because you were dead and you're mad about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. God damn it, I got. And there's one recently where I saw myself got hit by. I pushed someone out of the way and I got hit by the bus. I tasted the blood. I felt the pain. I felt me wheezing and gasping for life on the side of the road. And I tasted the blood.
Ugh.
And and it was with someone that I was with on this lifetime too. But it was like a different split off of here I go rescuing that person, saving that person, swooping in and being the one who rescues. and fixes
Mm-hmm.
and such. And so that played out big time in front of my eyes. I'm like, wow. And yeah, to taste the blood was crazy. But I'm like, all right, this is showing me where on another timeline where I valued someone over me, and where that person didn't do the same for me at all. It was just like basically hiding behind me. There's the bus, But it was just the unconsciousness of it all.
So
Um,
do you talk to that person like yourself
yeah,
and
I
that's because that's what I do, sort of.
yeah I
You know what I mean?
talked to that other aspect of myself. I said, okay,
Right.
I see that this happened, and we're laying on a street corner, dying. Um, to actually feel it and to complete, not complete, but to work through that aspect of me and why that happened,
Mm-hmm.
to feeling it, to
Feel it, accept it,
yeah,
and then I kind of like merge it with my present, sort
yeah,
of. You know
that's
what I
what
mean?
I did.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's what
I
I've
do
been
the same
doing
thing.
with other lives as well. um,
Mm-hmm.
the more that we see it and we feel it, the more it just it's no longer a pushed out aspect of ourselves. It's part of who we are now,
Mm-hmm.
and the wisdom and the knowledge that comes with it.
It,
It's
it heals my traumas in this body because
yeah,
this body has so much from the past
yeah,
traumas doing around still.
yeah, and it's just honoring that, and that's what I see not only in honoring myself, the big huge thing, but everybody else. You look at a big scheme, everybody else is us, and to honor them wherever they are at on their journey. And how would I want to be honored? To honor them as well, no matter what comes in front of my face, whether it could be the nastiest SOB, but to honor that, because that's an aspect. Because I could be a bitch. Well, I could be one of the biggest bitches out there, and to honor that aspect, because that aspect was showing me where I was on my journey, where I was the victim blamer, whatever the case may be, and to see that aspect playing out before me, but not being tricked. If I was triggered by it, then I would be like, okay, then it's still something inside me. But to see it and say, I love you and honor you, and I like Matt Con, who I just adore, um, looking at their higher self and say, I respect your higher self. And you don't have to say it out loud because most people would go, what the F are you talking about? But, sometimes I do just to mess with people. So it's just like, I don't care anymore. Like, you know what? I don't care. If you think I'm nuts, fine, whatever. I respect your higher self. Um, at least my kids are a little bit more like, okay, here she goes again. But it's respecting their higher self, and that we actually see their higher self. We see their true self. I've always seen the true self, and that's
Uh-huh.
what had me go into relationships with people, because I always saw their true self and not what they were showing me. But what
Yes.
but what they were showing me is exactly what I needed to know. Hey, this aspect is this disrespect, this whatever the case may be. It's because this is something that you need to love yourself more, because you're expecting them to give you respect when you obviously see that they hate themselves by the way that they're behaving. Because nobody that is in the law of one that loves themselves to the nth degree would not want to cause harm for another person. And for somebody to act out that way, project their shit upon you, you know that they are struggling with themselves. And they don't really like themselves. They have that false narcissistic attitude, is because they really don't like themselves, and they've talked themselves into how awesome they are because deep down inside they really aren't. And I all my narcissistic and people that I was around were me even participating in the victim, which is also narcissism,
Mm-hmm.
because we're all narcissists when we're
Mm-hmm.
it's
And that
so
codependent.
yes, and so we're people are like, oh, I'm not a narcissist. No, we didn't may not have taken it to where they did to be branded the narcissist, but still we're acting in narcissism when we're being the victim too.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
and that's where a lot, oh, yeah, I can't, I just no. That's well, that's just my how I perceive it and how we all participated in this. There's
The
no,
first time I heard that, I said, "That's not true." And then I thought about it. I'm like, "Yeah, that's true."
yeah, and how we were born into houses that had that just steeped in it, codependency, because we had
Uh-huh.
to come out of it, and we're the ones to see it. We're the ones to heal from it, and hopefully, to not project that upon you know the next generation, which I know my kids went through hell and back. And it was until about 10 years, maybe 15 now, God, I don't know how long, that I started seeing that. Like, oh shit, that this victim of this, oh, poor Chrissy, isn't getting us anywhere.
Yeah. I
And,
looked back on all my relationships and what a couple few years back, and I said, you know what? The one thing that's the same in all the relationships is who? Me.
yeah, uh-huh,
I allowed them to do this to me.
uh-huh. Because we needed
Mm.
it. We needed to see it over and over again in different faces to see, holy shit, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Mom,
Uh-huh,
relationships, husbands,
uh-huh.
friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. And we had to see, okay, but then to even take it one step further was to love and to forgive not only them but ourselves, and to really talk to our littlest one and say, I'm sorry that you had to go through all that, but I'm here for you now, and become the mom, the dad to ourselves. and
Right.
and our higher self, of course, knew this all along, what the gig was all
Mm.
about, but our little self did not. Our little self was that pure little sweet little girl. um, it's amazing, just as we go through this tunnel, um, all the shit that's coming up to the nothingness, where one minute I want to like clean the whole house, and the next minute I just want to lay in a heap, and I'm
Are
just
you having control issues? Because that's what mine's been lately with my new job and having a co-partner. I have control issues.
ah. I had those before. I did.
Ah,
I've had those come up before,
frustrating.
and where I had to let go of that too. And that's where I'm at the point where, well, even calling myself anything, to even having you know, it's like, well, what are you? Yes. And it's even beyond all that now, where I am like, just to
Well,
feel
I'm just
feel this
frustrated because
nothingness.
I'm just frustrated because they got grandiose ideas and they want to conquer the world. They want to do this, but you only have X amount of money and you got to do things a certain way. And it's half my business. So I explain, they still do whatever, and I'm still feel like I'm the mother running around behind cleaning up and trying to turn the heat down, do this, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it no more. It's driving me nuts.
So what is this showing you?
I'm
Because
driving.
that,
I'm driving nuts. I'm driving myself nuts. I just need to let it go. And if it falls flat on, boop, then that's out of my control because I can't control them, and I
you
keep
can't.
trying to.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
It's
why we're always in relationships with people, is because there are beautiful teachers of where
yes.
we're still trying to control shit. And
Oh, I've seen it. It's ugly.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, mine was very ugly as well, and um, like even down to power struggles on what my
Yeah, we were
youngest.
having those on Saturday.
Uh, and that's what's bringing up. I take that back. On Saturday, I did have a little power struggle with my youngest son on food, and and I was just like, no, we have this. No, no, no. I was just going back and forth. I'm like, whoa. And I had to get up and walk away. And then he had to go, Mom, we're just, look at this. And I said, I know. And that's why I walked away. And why are we just, it's like stirring the pot.
Oh, and then I know I'm annoyed, and I know I'm going to annoy this person by saying this thing again, and yet I do it. I say it again. I'm like, why? Why'd you have to say it again? You knew you should have said it again. You knew it was going to be annoying. Why'd you do that? Oh,
I know, right? And it is. It's just, it's putting us through this pressure cooker.
oh, I'm
It is
telling you. Yeah.
and this as we go through this tunnel, it's squeezing and squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter until we
Woo.
fit through that tiny little pinhole with, all right, we can't take anything with us.
It was so funny because he texted me something because I was like, "Did you put the money in the bank?" Because they were going out afterwards, and I just wanted to remind. And I knew when I sent that text, "Don't send it. It's gonna make him mad." He sent back. I'm not going to talk to you right now because you're annoying me a little bit. I waited a couple seconds. I was like, that's okay. I'm annoying myself too. She's like, oh.
It's always a lesson while you're in this right now, while you're in this with him, while you're on this journey together. It's all going to come up for review and looking at, and that's the beauty of it all. It really is.
Oh, it's a little frustrating though, I must say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's
I'm
supposed to be.
doing it.
Frustration.
I'm doing it.
Frustration is I can't. Things aren't going the way that I thought they would be supposed to be going.
Yeah. But the weirdest part was, and I've told him this too, and he agreed because we're both, whatever you want to call us. Um,
Yeah.
and I said, you know what? We did this together, and this is what I've always wanted. And now that I'm here, I think I'm meant to do something else.
Uh,
I said, I don't even know if I'll be here for a year or not. And he goes, yeah, I see that I'm going to be the one taking over this place. And I'm like, well, at least we both know it.
yeah. And that's what happened when I opened up a place. I tried to start a place too and was with somebody that I thought had the same ways of being, and you find out real quick, nope. And then
Oh,
everybody that I was around but it opened up a whole bunch of doors to a whole bunch of new people that I was supposed to meet and
yeah,
experience and go through another layer of
yeah. We,
wow.
no, we work together wonderfully in the business. I mean, it's starting out slow, but it's starting to take off. That's not it. I just know there's something
Yeah,
higher. There's something else I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what it is yet. He has the same feeling. So I don't know.
yeah. Mine was a whole bunch of lessons that
Yeah.
because we were doing well too. We were having classes and things were just going crazy and booming, and I'm just like,
You're just
no,
like, ah,
no.
Yeah.
And it was like another low. She, what do you mean no? I'm like, no, I, I couldn't trust her anymore because she did something that was very, very.
Oh,
It was just not a good thing. So I had said, nope, I'm out. Nope, 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 nope,
okay.
nope. And I shut it all down before it got really going, and before we signed paperwork or anything like that. I'm like, nope. And it was just I had to see it all, and I had to trust my gut what I was feeling, and that was a
Yeah.
major thing. There was trust your gut, not what she's saying. Trust what you feel,
Yeah.
and
It's
what
not about that with me. I just feel like I'm going to be traveling or something. Like I'm doing something else. I don't know if it's
yeah, who
traveling and
knows?
healing or
Just
whatever, but I don't know.
yeah, yeah, that's the beauty thing is that after all this is said and done, this whole world is going to be different, and so what's going to be needed is going to be different. And I, what I saw for me was more community, like going around and starting communities of
Hmm.
different ways of being and enlightenment, um, like coming together as a community, bringing forth all of our different gifts because the old is falling. We have to create a new.
So you're going to be traveling from community to community.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I see too, but I don't even know what I'm doing.
yeah,
I
I don't
don't
either.
know.
And so I
It's not
talked.
there yet. It's
No,
coming. It's not here yet.
yes, I hear you. And so that's what it is. Is like we have to form new. We have to form something new with the new knowledge that's coming in and the new ways of being that a lot of people have never experienced here. But since we've been here for eternity, we kind of have an idea of it, but yet it's still new at the same time. So it's not like Gomeria or Atlantis. It's going to be, or even other, five other different civilizations that were here too before us. Um, what's going to be new for this galactic human? What's going to be new for this time frame, or what that what's coming is going to be even different than the Lemuria and Mayan times or Atlantis or any of the other times that we've all been here for.
Doesn't it feel like
Egyptian.
it's getting closer? Like
Yeah,
maybe the next year or so? It feels like it's really close.
it's very close. And so that's kind of why I'm bringing it up now that we're all supposed to be perhaps thinking about this because when shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
they're going to find out everything that happened.
Now, have you been periodically through this last few months or so? I keep like wanting to do food storage. So I'll
Yes,
gather up some extra cans and stuff, and then I use them. And I'm like, oh, it's getting low. I better get some more.
I was
But
actually,
yet they're not telling me to stockpile too much, just to make sure you have enough for a few weeks.
yes,
Because then it's saying like we're gonna be moving. We're gonna be moving. It keeps
yeah,
saying that we're moving.
yep. And that's what um, I was kind of shown, and also to get, one of those life straws where,
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, that was shown to me
And
last
candles,
night.
candles,
Yes, and
candles,
I got tons of
candles.
candles
I'm
at
like,
my ass.
I usually have candles, but like I've been like stockpiling candles. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy. And I
I
can't
did
here
it
keeps saying
earlier.
candles, candles.
Yep, and that's what I did
Yeah.
earlier this year too. Was stock up on can like all this stuff was like we're seeing
Yeah.
all the timelines out there.
Yeah.
Getting prepared for
Now
all of them.
it'll go away for a month and then it'll kick
Yes.
back in again. And I'll be like, oh, I gotta go get some candles again. Gotta
Yep.
get
Yeah. And that's what it's been showing me
it's
too.
all
Is like
crazy.
this is the timeline that we're aligning with our the collective is aligning with this one, and then it shifts again where it goes
Uh-huh.
into a higher timeline, and now it's going back. And it keeps
I
going back
know.
and forth and back and forth and weaving in and out of
Um,
what
it was
timeline that we're
Hey, a
actually going to
timeline
choose.
shift the other day was funny because my neighbor, my the apartment next door, he's got like a Trump on his window and his car. He's got like a Trump little banner and everything. And Thomas is like, there's a statue up in Brookville, a statue of Trump. He's like, it's gone. I'm like, it's funny because my neighbor's Trump stuff's gone too.
Oh
And then like a
wow.
week later, I was like, Trump's back. He came back.
Well, there it is.
I was laughing.
And you never
We
know.
skipped the timeline and then came back. I was just
Yes.
like laughing my ass
Well,
off because nobody else sees this stuff.
they've been showing that though. Like I've been witnessing that too. Like it's kind of like that Mandela effect where we're
Uh-huh.
it's different and the same but different, and it's just like like we.
That just happened last week, the
Uh
Trump
huh.
thing.
Uh huh.
And then it came back. I texted him Trump's back out loud and he's like,
It's
uh,
hilarious because it's going to be happening more and more, and you just feel it coming. You just feel it, and you can't really put your finger on it, for preciseness of this
right.
that because
I mean, the Trump thing was just a fluke that we actually seen at the same time.
uh,
Because a lot of times you just don't know. It's just like, it's just different.
right, and then like this whole trucker thing that's going to happen in America, it's something's up too with that. Like they're trying to. I know they're trying to put a monkey wrench in things because they don't want it to happen. And Biden
Uh-huh.
did something, and Arizona's doing something, and but there's something else.
There's other countries that are doing stuff too.
Yes, oh yeah, that's all. It's awesome, but
Mm-hmm.
there's an aspect of all of this that just doesn't feel right.
No, like they're going to almost erase it.
It's and there's so many parts of it that I just can't put my finger on.
Uh-huh.
That just doesn't feel right, but yet it feels right. Like I'm happy that people are finally standing up for themselves because I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, yay! And it's just good to see other people standing up for themselves, um, because it isn't quite the lonely road when you're the only one in it, bro. It's like no, no. You see everybody else participating, like, but it's good to see other people standing up to the school boards. It's good to see other people standing up to this, even though my way is different than necessarily standing up. It's more just no, and passively saying, not having to go in there and fight, 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 but just saying no, I'm not participating in that instead of
That's what I did at
fighting.
Walmart.
Yeah, yeah, you did. That was awesome.
I only had two people and they were coworkers and they said, why aren't you wearing it? So I choose not to participate in the discrimination. They went, oh, okay. And
Yeah,
they thought about it and then they walked away.
yeah, and
Nobody else
then
has even noticed. Nobody
yeah,
else even noticed.
yeah. I noticed people like Ben had to return something. He got something at Walmart, and we went up there, and I was just looking around just because of our conversation earlier, and so I'm seeing like other people that had it on and who didn't have it on, and I'm just giggling to myself because of what you did, um, but yeah, it's
They're enslaving
watching.
themselves. They don't
Yeah,
even know it.
yeah, most of them are, and
Uh-huh.
um, that it's that implant. We
I
have
got
so
to do
many.
this because they told me I have to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's an implant that we've had for a long time, and it was we have to see it in order to unhook it, and it's just like the codependency and everything else. It's all these little like implant hooks that are been in us that we have to see it to finally start to unhook it and to be free of it. Um, and to watch, like the truckers, they're fighting, but they're passively doing it, um,
Yes.
which
Did
is
you
good.
see? I don't know where it was at, but it might have been in a different country. They were all standing at this, like, it looked like a capitol, and people were making a human chain. They were linking arms. They
Oh,
were
that was
standing back to
Ottawa.
back.
Yeah,
Do
that was Ottawa
you
in
see that?
Canada.
The cops
Uh huh.
were just like feet in the front line. Those people did not
Yeah.
do a thing.
That's
They
been,
stood.
yeah, that's been
They
Paris too, I
stood.
think. Paris, that was Paris
Yeah.
too.
I
It
was
was,
like, now that's a protest I can
yeah,
get behind. You just stand there.
yeah, you just stand there. And, but you know what they're doing too? Because they told me from the very beginning, well, I was guided not to have, to support, energetically, because I've already been there in the fight stance and I don't need to go back there again. I don't have to fight for anything because I just am. I am freedom. I am love. I am peace. I am this.
Right.
I am that. So I don't have to fight for it anymore. We're people that still have that in their system that they have to get out. Go right ahead because that's part of what you're here to experience
Right.
this. Um, but they said I was led not to have us participate because I saw energy weapons being aimed at the participators. And that was like last year. It was Sasha and all those guys. They Street Fighter and all of them. They all had these Arise Freedom tours going around, and
Oh,
I there was one
yeah.
at Penn State that we were going to go to, and then
Dark energy is directed at them, right?
yep. And so
Mhm.
they got really sick. And so, it's that direct energy weapon, the dews, that really did it. So, the EMFs being forced at them. And so I wanted to go down there because I wanted to be around that energy. They're talking about everything that, what I hold dear to my heart. But then, like my car, it just oh yeah, but something happened to my car, so I'm like, okay, I can't go. But then it was like, you can't go before that thing happened to my car, just in case you change your mind, something was going to happen to my car. But it was before then. It was like oh yeah, but in my head, my ego, oh, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, and then my spirit came through and said, no, we're not going. I said, I want to go see you. And so my car just said, nope,
Mhm.
not gonna do it because just in case you get another idea that you think you're gonna go, we're gonna prevent you from going. And the whole like four rows of where the stage was and the people all got affected by this energy weapon.
Yeah, I heard
And
about that.
and then um, fast forward to, I think it was last weekend, Australia. They were basically energy weapons again, and they were burned.
Wow.
People, their lips were all burned, their faces and their skin and everything burned from the. And went around and found all these energy weapons just facing the crowds. And there was like 1 million people there.
I mean, I'm excited and I'm happy that they're doing that and they're doing it peacefully, the protesters. But I
Yes,
feel like I don't need to be a part of it.
yeah.
But I'm
Well,
so glad they are.
yeah, I'm glad they are standing up for themselves because we've been doing it all along. We said no. We just said no. We're not participating. No, we're
Right.
not participating. And that's because we are burned at the stake. We were choked. We were this. We were that because we fought. And
Every time.
so when we just stand there and go, no, we're just not going to participate. Like I don't need to go to a football game or a concert or fly in an airplane. No, I'm not participating. And, I know a lot of people just got the Jabberdo just so they can travel. And I said, I won't acquiesce for that just for convenience or for
Mm-mm.
something that is outside of me. Because I can travel there, yeah, in a heartbeat. Boom, I'm right there. Why? Because I can energetically, we all can do that. Just
Mhm.
feel that space, feel that area. Um, our imagination is kick ass to where we could astral project right over there. Boom, zigo. But to acquiesce and to give up our soul, selling, I see it selling our soul to do something or to get something. That's where they get you. And that's where a lot of people have found themselves. Um, well, now they're putting, jobs with this. They're putting, to feed yourself, to have a house, a roof over your head. To this is where they're getting us. Is they're
Yeah, the
buying,
government's trying to do healthcare.
yeah,
That's kind of one of the reasons, another reasons I got out of the healthcare a little bit because I didn't want to do that.
yeah, and it was, you saw how toxic it was going, and um, where where do we acquiesce? Where do we keep, giving parts of ourselves to keep the peace, to do what we have to do to survive, which is
Mm-hmm.
exactly where they like to have us, is all of us
The
backed
other
into a corner.
thing I did not agree with was I was working with my company and they were asking our mentally handicapped individuals, because most of them have their own
Yes.
rights,
Yep.
if they wanted it. And they were all talked into getting it.
Yep. 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 Oh yeah.
And yeah.
I know. A family friend. He thought, oh, if I, he was told, if you get these jabberdoos, then you don't have to wear your mask. And then, of course, they changed their tune. And so now he's got, the jabberdoo inside of him. And they went right back to, the same old. And, everyone's
Mm-hmm.
lying to them. And it is. It's coming to a head. And I think the truckers, because nobody messes with them, because they, the big freaking rigs. And
Nothing, you can't get anything about the trucks. So they
no,
have the power.
yeah, and that's what is kind of needed for that wave to get everybody excited. Because I know up here we have an Erie convoy. I found on Telegram an Erie convoy where you can donate items for them
Yeah, I
to
seen that.
where you can go on overpasses and such, because they'll be coming down by you guys too. Over
Yeah, they're coming through.
and
Aren't they coming up 80?
yeah, yeah. Well, they're gonna be going, like, ours is gonna be coming down from Buffalo and then down 79 to probably 80, and then hook 80 over to 76 or whatever, so whatever it is, and then go down to through the turnpike to DC. And it'll be interesting to see how this
Yeah,
plays
but I
out.
probably won't be. I won't be on the overpass. Sorry.
Well, see, that's where the boys and I were thinking, well, we'll get out our flags, we'll donate like some items, um, to support them in where they are at on their journey. Um, I said, well, boys, you're welcome to go there if you want, and the, you won't be fighting mom in DC. I said, because I know what's awaiting there, and plus I've done this fight so many
Right.
lifetimes of fighting Star Wars and all that
I
stuff.
might be on the side of the road, but I can't do overpass because I've fallen off of bridges and
Oh,
overpasses and stuff in past lives. So I
yeah.
can't do that one.
I'm not good for heights either.
I'm
No,
out.
I'll be on the
I'm
side
out
of
of
the.
the.
Yeah, I'm not good
No,
with heights. I've been pushed off too many cliffs and shit.
me too. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah,
doing the overpass. I might be on
yeah,
the side of the road, but I'm not doing the overpass.
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not very good with heights or deep water. Still not good with deep water. Um, and I was in the Titanic. That came up. Uh, no wonder I don't like deep water. Uh, and then also being drowned, that doesn't help either. But just so many things are coming up for us to look at, and the pressure cooker's on. It really is. And the next 3 months are going to be, everything's going to come out. Not everything that we want, but a lot. At least for us, because we're awake to a lot of this anyway. But this is mostly for the other people that haven't seen what's going on. But within
Let's see how many
ourselves.
See how many times the timeline shifts in this next week.
Oh, it's gonna be very interesting, and to be okay with it all. And I told the boys, I said, we're gonna have more nausea. We're gonna have more episodes of chills with no fever. We're gonna have episodes of just feeling like you want to go to sleep for 600 hours, um, to allow all
Oh, the
that
other
to
night
play.
I burnt alive all night long. Like I was on fire all night.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
not talking a hot flash or anything. This was a
No.
all night. I
Yeah.
had to get up in the middle of the night and run my hands under cold water.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's times where I'll have to get up and move around. Um, and yeah, there's times where I've had to cool off in the and just wash my hands as well. It's just in the water, just to feel the water, the cold water,
Mm-hmm.
because of being so hot. Like I just go right. It is not. Yeah, it isn't a menopausal thing. It's energy.
No,
And then
it's
there's
energy.
and
Yeah.
then there's times where I'm so cold I can't get warm from the energy as well. So it's just like all this is igniting again. Just whew, it's all off the
Just when
charts.
you think you're fine for a few days, it goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, because that's the thing is something hits us. It takes 3 days to integrate, and then it hits us. It is continue every day, so we're always integrating, and we're
Yeah, but it's never been this fast before. It's so
oh, I
fast.
know it's gonna get faster. It's gonna get faster, more
Did you see my
intense.
post this morning? It was because I was grumpy and I'm like, I play this game sometimes and I ask the universe, show me something unique or something like it's a little trippy on the Matrix almost, right?
Uh-huh.
Two horses downtown clearing. I posted it on my
Yes,
thing.
yes, I saw that. I was like, what?
Well played, universe.
Yep.
Well played.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh, here we go. And so it is. It's speeding up, and there was a big ejection of the sun, and I felt the ejection part, and I was like, oh, ooh, and now it's coming, and that was from the backside of the sun, where it wasn't even hitting us, and we're gonna feel it big time this week, and then something even bigger, like something from the sun is going to eject, and it's gonna be ginormous.
And I've
And
been waiting for that because actually I was shown that.
yeah, it's gonna
Like
be
a sun
huge.
flare and like everybody kind of drops out and then
Yeah,
there's the like then like me and you are going around people like us
yeah,
and we're helping the people.
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah,
shown that probably like 2 months
yeah, yeah.
ago.
Oh yeah, oh
Like
yeah,
not stupid with it shown. I was like, whoa, what was that?
yeah, 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 yeah. They, this, yeah, I
Now
saw.
it can change. The timeline can change, but it keeps going back to this again. And I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It's
like
gonna be crazy.
we're supposed to have our grab bags, and we're supposed to go and just help, and
Yeah.
and help any way we can, because people are just gonna be, they're all gonna feel a moment of this, but then it's just like boosh, the whole life just been ripped from them, and I don't know. I mean, they've been trying to do this drip, 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 drip for years now. They've been doing drips, and a lot of people have woken up from that, but a lot of people haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's gonna knock
interesting.
them down, and they're gonna wake up, and they're gonna go, "What in the world is going on?"
Yeah, it's gonna
Yep.
be something big, huge.
By the way, Messenger, you need to send me your address, and I'll send you mine, just in case the
Yeah, yeah,
phones and everything goes out.
yeah. I'll give you my. Oh, do you have Signal?
Do I have what?
It's called Signal, and it's
No.
actually an app where it's connected to the military satellites. And
Oh.
so, if shit, that would be the last to go out. Let me. There it is. Signal. I'll have to see. There's somehow I can link it. Dang. Um, update it. It's more.
Mm.
It's new group find invite friends. Yeah, because I need your cell phone number in order to link up. So
Yeah,
I'll
well,
send
we'll
that
do
to
that
your
after this
messenger. Yeah.
on
Yeah, it's oh my
Messenger.
god, it's 8:04 already. But yeah, definitely because we'll need to connect with each other when things
When
go.
the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, because we need to, and that's why this whole community thing is like have triage centers
Mm-hmm.
almost for people.
You're the
Because
only other person in the spiritual community that has seen the similar things that I have right now on this timeline we're talking about.
yeah, yeah,
I find that interesting.
it's a triage kind of like a center. Like maybe your place right now will be a place for people to go to because it's going to be like a triage center.
Yeah, that would work.
And then maybe, come down and, um, like, hey, let's focus on your gifts. Let's look at this. What do you bring to the table that you can help somebody out? Because all these systems around us are falling. They're,
Mm-hmm.
they're, they're imploding. What are we going to do to form anew? We have to form a new community. We just can't we just have to help we have to step in and help each other because we're depending on these establishments and they're falling, the banks falling, the schools are falling, the medical fall, everything's falling. What are we going to do to bring something that's going to be new and nothing of the old energy can be there at all,
I
because it
feel
won't
we're
work.
definitely going to need land to plant some stuff and
Yeah,
have, you know what I mean?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
You'll be able to feed yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're teaching people how to grow sprouts. Do you live on sprouts? Things like that.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
really, you think about it, like, holy shit, yeah. And people do
Yeah.
have done that before. You know, sinks and kitchens and stoves came on. Um, live from the earth and learning how to live that way. I mean, wow. I mean, just the pine needles alone. You make a tea out of it, and you can sustain yourself for at least a couple weeks. You don't need food for like 3 weeks. You just need to,
Mm-hmm.
we just eat. We basically eat just to eat and not for real reasons. So, I don't know, we start thinking
That's
outside the
true.
box. And
Lately, if I eat anything bigger than like a little small meal, I feel so tired. I feel
yeah,
disgusted. My stomach bloats. I'm
yep,
tired.
yep. And, I've been hearing a lot more of we need to and just keep doing it because we're being inundated right now.
Yeah, that sounds good. I need to make a tea.
Yeah. All right, so it is 8:07. Thank you guys for joining me this evening and for whoever watched on the future of this. Thank you, Cheryl, as always, for joining me. And I'll be in touch with my number so that we can keep in touch.
Okay.
All right? And then I'll find you on Signal and send you a request.
All right. Always a
All right.
pleasure.
All right. Bye bye.